What's up guys, it's Gone, and today we'll be going into a deep dive on possibly one of the best win-win trades that we've seen in the 21st century. Of course, because you've seen it in the thumbnail, we're talking about Jazz Chisholm for Zac Gallen, at the time a relatively unheard of prospect for prospect swap by two meddling ball clubs in 2019. Gallen at the time was an unheard of prospect who, unless you were a Marlins or Cardinals fan, probably never heard of, who was surprising in the majors. And Chisholm was a 21-year-old struggling mightily in AA. Now, looking at this trade from a hindsight of 3 years, this is easily one of the most influential trades of that entire deadline. In this video, we will look at the context in which this trade was made by each team, its current ramifications, and the future of these two stars. But before we get on to the video, could you guys please hit the like and subscribe button? Currently, only 3% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if y'all do, not only would it help me grow my channel, but it also encouraged me to create more videos like this for you guys. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. Starting with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and on July 31st, 2019, the D-backs were setting records for how mediocre they were by lasting 39 straight games within 3 games of 500. And when bumping that up to 4 games within 500, it goes up to 47 straight games of being within 4 games of 500. It was safe to say that the D-backs needed to do something in order to either solidify themselves as a contender or sell high, while guys like Zac Gallen and Ketel Marte were playing levels above their expectations. However, while they had both a potential MVP talent and Cy Young winner, the depth around them was shoddy at best, especially the back end of the rotation and bullpen. Guys like Zac Gallen, Jon Duplantier, and Taylor Clark all manned the back end of the rotation with little to no success. Their first move of the day was to acquire a little-known pitching prospect for top 100 prospect Jazz Chisholm. While the move from an initial viewpoint was puzzling, Jazz was hitting under 220 in AA at the time, and the D-backs liked another shortstop in their system in Gerardo Perdomo, who is currently the starting shortstop on the D-backs today at only 22 years old. While they did sell at the deadline, with the blockbuster deal of the day being Zac Gallen to the Astros for 4 players, they managed to play better after the trade deadline, with Gallen being one of the main factors, with a 153 ERA plus and 43 innings with the team in 2019. In 2019, the Marlins, however, were in the cellar of the National League. After finishing their game on July 31st, they sat at 41-65 with overall terrible hitting. They had some quality pitching prospects like Sixto Sanchez, Edward Cabrera, and Braxton Garrett, all in their farm system, so what they really needed were long-term position players. So, when they had a decent but not great prospect in Zac Gallen break out in 7 starts, posting a 2.72 ERA in 36 innings, they decided to sell high and buy low by swapping him for Jazz Chisholm, who was again struggling in AA. While Jazz did not play in 2019, he made the majors in 2020 and showed some great potential in 2021, where he stole 23 bases and hit 18 home runs at just 23 years old. I hope that what you guys get after I show you the context is the rationale for each team and why they made this move. Obviously, if one player panned out and the other one didn't, this would be the heist of the decade, but both players worked out and it gave both teams what they wanted, which is the ultimate win-win trade in my books. After a 2021 abysmal season by the Diamondbacks, which resulted in the worst numbers of his entire career, Zac Gallen, under his new pitching coach Brent Strom, has posted a breakout season with a potential Cy Young implication in 2022. The main reason for his improvement was his increased usage of his cutter, which gives him 5 above-average pitches that he all throws with regularity. In turn, this has led to Gallen's hard hit percentage falling over 10%, which leads to less line drives and more ground balls and fly balls, which play well with Arizona's improved defense from last year. Now, we have seen an ERA drop from 4.3 in 2021 to an outstanding 2.4 ERA in 10 starts, which is back to consistency that we saw from him in 2019 and 2020. Unlike Gallen, Jazz has seen steady improvement ever since his debut season in 2020. While his power-speed combo is tempting to talk about first, I would like to bring up his defense. Currently, he sits in the 97th percentile and outs above average at second base, so he should be getting a Gold Glove or 2 on his mantle throughout his entire Major League career. This is due to his 95th percentile in speed, which is a menace on the base paths and on the field, as he can hawk down any ball that gets hit his way. Now on to his hitting, which has seen his ups and downs throughout his career. One physical thing that I would like to mention is that his visible changes in his swing from 2020 to what is now in 2022. You can see that there is a lot less moving parts in his current swing, which leads to higher consistency in what is something he lacked in 2020 and 2021. Despite currently posting an OPS plus of 128, the scary part is that he could be performing a lot better. His hard hit percentage is good and all, but currently he posts a ground ball rate of 46%, which is above league average and well above many of the elite hitters. If Jazz is able to raise his average a degree of elevation, he could see many more line drives and fly balls, which could lead to more extra base hits and home runs, which pair well with his speed overall. Obviously, now we're into the part of speculation rather than genuine fact, and players are hard to project, but I'm on the optimistic side and will say that both of them will turn out just fine. Jazz will clean up his strikeout issues just as any young star does, and Gallen will prove that his 2021 season was a fluke. Gallen will consistently finish high in the Cy Young voting every year while posting an ERA around 3. Chisholm will represent second base for the National League All-Star team by keeping his batting average in the 270s and 280s with an array of extra base hits. He may even hit for the cycle a couple of times in his career. He's got the skill set to pull it off. Lastly, their rivalry will be spectacular as two of the league's best squaring off, shared by a connection that happened so many years ago. Back in 2021, Jazz expressed his desire to homer off Gallen, jump-starting the rivalry. They met back on July 2nd, 2022, with Gallen winning the first battle, giving Chisholm an 0 for 3. He then responded with, "I'm not scared of anybody. I gave him 97 and said, here, see what you can do with it. Not much." However, in that very same game, Chisholm hit a 2-run double, with both of those runs being charged to Gallen, and eventually cut the lead down to 1 off of the D-backs bullpen. In conclusion, this rivalry is going to be fun to watch and is must-see TV whenever these two are slated to face each other. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below new video ideas. With the trade deadline coming up in about a month and a half, I'm going to start doing some videos to focus on the trade deadline like I did last year. Some players that I might do are guys like Luis Castillo, Wilson Contreras, and other players like that. But if you have any players in mind, let me know. I might do another mock draft maybe if like something major were to pop up, like a surprising player or something. But unless something were to pop up, I would probably not do a mock draft, as that takes a lot of time, and I'd rather focus on trade deadline videos. Otherwise, let me know what you guys want. I could make some prospect videos and a farm system ranking after the trade deadline, but let me know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.